welcome back to Music Talk. I'm Dave.
I'm Mike.
He's that way.
It's that way.
And I want to appreciate everybody for subscribing. We got a couple new subscribers. And don't forget to press like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate all y'all checking us out.
That's right. And if anybody wants to throw in and make some T-shirts for us,
Yeah, more than willing.
Yeah.
We'll put them on here. Y'all can make some money too.
Exactly. Just join in on the hype here.
That's right. That's right. Send us some ideas. So, all right. Well, this week I'm going to put Mike on that side because this week we're doing Miranda Lambert's new one called Palomino.
Yep.
And that's her on the front cover, looking all cowgirl with her desert scene back there. Got the same thing on the inside cover. And on the back, you got her with her hat on, looking good with all the track listings in there. And on the back, she's kicked back there. Same scene, basically. Inside, you got all the words for each song. Got a nice pictures of the little desert area that she's hanging out in. There's a centerfold of her. Not a centerfold that y'all all want to see, but it's a centerfold of her. And then you got her here, more of her pictures of her and all the words and all the people that did everything on the record. So here's the CD. It's a cool little CD. It's different. Got the little gemstones there.
Yeah.
Kind of goes with her tattoo, I think, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah. The thing is, too, on this, she did not use any of the industry standard producers and engineers or anything. It was her and her writing team.
Yeah.
And they went into the studio and they did all this stuff themselves. I mean, now granted, I'm sure she hired other musicians and brought them in and things like that. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But they didn't go the typical route, which brings into the fact that when she first started, she was discovered at a talent show down in Texas.
Yeah.
And the same one that Leanne Rimes was discovered at.
Yeah.
And so she got brought into Nashville, and they kept handing her this outrageous pop country crap when she was 18. And she shook her head, said no, and walked away and went home. Told her dad to teach her how to play guitar, and she started writing her own stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that, I got to give her props.
Yeah.
Because I went back and listened to her first album, and I listened to this one. And I know, between David and I, there's going to be some controversy on this, but to me, she's hanging on to the outlaw aspect of the country music side of things, and it's not as traditional as true outlaw music, but you still got a lot of the four on the floor type stuff with the bass drum. Meaning, you can get out there and do some good two steps and whatever, to the stuff.
Well, first, let me say, I like Miranda Lambert. I think she's great. She can sing really, really well. I hate this record. I'm just telling you right now, I hate this record. To me, it's the epitome of why I don't like country music. Really. I mean, this kind of country music, I don't like it. Normally, if it's a woman singing, it's okay. I like it. But this one, man, I just don't like it at all, man.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I liked it. I mean, it gave me, it was kind of pleasant to listen to as compared to the rest of the commercial country that's coming out, especially with the guys. I don't know what the hell they're doing in Nashville. I really don't. I mean, no wonder, a lot of the people worth their weight and, as far as being musicians have left there, I mean, it's not what it was 15, 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Well, I've never been a country fan, really. I mean, we've been doing some reviews on some country artists, and I take it for what it's worth. And if it's a good record, I'd say it's a good record. If it was good writing, I would say it's good writing. This album here, I mean, I trash rock too. I trash prog. I mean, that last Yes album, I totally hated everything about it except for the cover. So
yeah, I didn't like the last Yes album.
we'll go through it real quick, and then I'll just give you my list of what I hate about this record. So the first song, I mean, I won't give you a list. I'll tell you a few things along the way, but at the end, I'll tell you what really bothered me about it. So the first one we get Acting Up, and I swear I thought I was listening to Rock On by David Essex.
Mhm.
It sounded
Well,
just like Rock On when it came on.
yeah, and there were some tidbits of a couple of different artists that I heard
Well,
in the stuff.
kind of gave me hope because I'm like, all right, maybe this is going to be pretty good. But then she starts singing songs like Tiger Woods Can't Swing It Like This and Call Me Ricky, Call Me Bobby. And these words were just so
Yeah, and
cheesy. It was like,
there
man, I
there
hate this.
there was some cheesy stuff, but I got to tell you though, Geraldine, that was a good one.
Oh my God. We'll get to that. And I'll tell you, all right. So,
That was a good song, man.
oh God. The number two we get to is Scenes. And
Yeah.
Scenes is really what you were going to expect out of the rest of the record. That's, the first one kind of had that little rock on sound about it, but the rest of
Mm.
this album, Scenes is the first one that kind of gives you what you're getting ready to get.
Uh,
And again, some cheesy words. Now, the thing is, when there's two different writing teams on here, which I'm assuming two different producers, because Luke Dick wrote a lot of these songs and he produced his, and then you also had a guy named Jack Ingram and John Randall that wrote some songs and produced them. Now, I found that all the songs that she did with Luke Dick and Natalie, whoever did the recording on those, every one of their songs, there's 8 of those songs that they did, her high end was clipping really bad.
uh,
But the other ones that she did with the other guy, they had the compression or something, they gated it or something because it wasn't clipping. So like she had really hard T's and S's, and anytime she went up high, it would clip. And it's like,
yeah.
man, what is going on with that?
Yeah, I didn't hear that here. Of course, I didn't. I probably should have turned this up a little bit more, but
Well, I listened to it through three different things because I thought first it was the car. And then I listened to it on one set of my headphones and I listened to it in here. And every time the same songs were the same way. It was weird to me. Like something in their studio, they had that high end clipping for some reason. I don't know.
huh?
When you listen
Maybe
to it again, check it
yeah,
out.
maybe reason why I'm not getting that stuff is because I am listening to it on a streaming thing, and I don't know. Maybe just inadvertently some compression happening or something. I
Could be.
don't,
Yeah, I listened to one of them through a stream too, and I was still getting it, but it wasn't as bad. But yeah, it was still there a little bit. But I was noticing it before, so I was kind of
yeah.
listening for it.
But like I say, they didn't go the traditional route of recording. They pretty much handled all this stuff amongst themselves, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, you
And
could tell they're doing it right
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah, and there were a lot of things in here. It's like I liked the guitar work. It reminded me of a lot of the late '50s rumble and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With the vibrato on the guitar. I like that approach on a lot of that stuff. Well, they use it on at least 3 or 4 songs. I know.
Well, number three, which is In Her Arms, which is the one song I like on the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice ballad. It's a different pattern. It didn't follow the same pattern. The vocals were recorded much better. This is the first one she did with Jack Ingram on the record,
Well, Jack
in
Ingram's
the
been around
order
a long
anyway.
time. He's been around a long time.
Yeah, so the recording to me was much better. It had that guitar line with that don, 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 and
Right,
it
right,
did
right.
kind of come in a little loud a couple times, but I thought it was okay. So that song I liked. That was In His Arms. Number four, Geraldine. I can't believe you even referenced this. This is like
I
the
like this
biggest
stuff.
Jolene ripoff I ever heard in my life. It even says Jolene in the lyrics.
It's not a Jolene song. It's not Jolene.
No,
It's
it's
just a good
Geraldine.
road. It's just a good roadhouse song. I mean, it's
I
full of little quirks and stuff. Uh,
This is terrible. It was terrible, man.
I mean, the but the next one, Tourist.
Tourist. Now it had a
Okay,
good bass line.
it had a good bass line, but it was the very intro had a heavy hint of Sheryl Crow in it. As far as the intro.
Yeah,
Then the next song, Music City Queen.
with the B
Okay,
52s.
it had the B-52s, but it also had hints of Leaving Las Vegas, Sheryl Crow again.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, and
so far, all these
yeah,
songs, other than In His Arms and Geraldine, they all have that same high thing. They're all done by that same guy, and it's clipping like crazy.
I didn't notice it. I really didn't notice it here.
On Music City Queen, that part where she says he sounds like Jerry Lee Lewis, man, when they played that ragtime piano in there, I was like, dude, save a little bit, because it's like he played everything he knew right there in that 10-second spot or 2-second spot. It was like,
Well, my whole thing with that, they had some kind of effect going on that piano. And number one, Jerry Lee didn't use effects; it was just a straight up upright piano.
yeah,
And
this
you
one
know,
sounded like a player piano.
he didn't use a player; he used an upright. And when he
Right.
was in concert, I mean, they brought
Mhm.
out little baby grands or something for him.
Yeah.
But
But the
yeah, I thought
B-52s
I
were
thought
pretty
that was
cool.
I thought that was pretty. I thought it was pretty cheesy the way they did the piano thing. I thought it could have been handled much better. Although I'm not a big Jerry Lee fan. I mean, I got to give him props. I mean, he was the one of the few that opened that door for rock and roll. But
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
so,
He
I
bridged
mean,
that gap a little bit for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
um,
So yeah, I thought that was weird, that
yeah.
piano thing. And then number 7, we get Strange. I don't know what you want to say about that one.
I don't have a. I mean, it was there. It was there.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I just had a hard time with this whole record. Now, number 8, that's Wandering Spirit, which is a
Yeah,
Mick Jagger song.
yeah.
It was on his third solo album. It's almost to the T, too. If you listen to the original,
Uh huh.
everything's kind of pretty much to the T. And
See,
that was okay.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a Jagger song.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds exactly like it, man. If you go back and check it out,
Okay.
the guitar and everything sounds the same, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's not a bad version. She did
Yeah.
a good job on that. So I gave her a check on that one also. So far, I got 2 checks out of 8. Um, and it was a little different. It didn't have the same pattern because it was written by, Mick Jagger, of course.
Yeah.
So, and then we get to number 9, I'll Be Loving You. I mean, it had an old feel about it. And I think that's what you were talking about earlier with some of that old sounding guitar.
Yeah. I got, the little note that I've got beside it. It was a good twist on a blues slash country shuffle. It was a nice fresh approach of blending the two and pulling it off. And I thought she did a pretty good job of doing that.
Yeah. Was it
You know,
wasn't too bad. Still, it was one of the other ones that was bearable for me.
yeah.
Um,
Country money.
well,
Uh,
wait, we ain't got there yet. We got number 10
oh yeah.
is That's What Makes the Jukebox Play.
I loved the drums on that. I did. I loved the drum sound on
Well, this is the one I
that.
think
It's
where
like
the drum actually changed because he was playing pretty much the same patterns the whole time with the same hi-hat thing. And he wasn't varying very much.
no, it wasn't a whole lot going on. It was basically a deep shell snare tuned real low, real loose strainers, and he was using brushes, and it was a very loose sound, and I thought it was used very well. And it
So
could be
now
that they changed it to
deeper.
enlighten the fact of making it more danceable or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, through the song. But I just thought it was a good. To me, it was a good, fresh approach again to somebody that's trying to survive in the country field. I thought it was pretty ballsy.
So number 11 is Country Money. Is there something you wanted to say about this one?
I just thought that to me that was real cheesy. I mean, the only people that got away with cheesy stuff like that was Jimmy
See,
Reed,
look, I got
Amos Moses or whatever. I mean, this is country
this
money.
is what I put on it. I wrote
It had a reference to Geraldine in there. Now she was the egg queen.
right. Well, I mean, she actually says she's a real mother clucker. I mean, come on, dude. She says that in the lyrics. She's a real mother clucker. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I mean, this was written with 2 other people. This wasn't written with any of the other guys that she had been working with. This was 2 other people, and it's like, this is the worst song I've ever heard. I think it's bad. It was so
yeah.
bad. And then we get If I Was a Cowboy, which I guess is okay. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I'm wishy washy on that one because
Yeah.
that's one of those songs I feel like a man
Right.
should have
That's what
sang.
I was gonna say. It would have been better if a man sang that probably. This one she wrote with somebody else too. This is another name that's not on the rest of the songs. But I don't know. Then we get to number 13, which is Waxahachie.
Waxahachie.
Waxahachie. I actually liked the hook on this. The hook stuck in my head. You know, I liked the way she sang it. It was really good. It was back with Jack Ingram again,
Yeah.
which the sound was better, the production was better, the vocals were better, the way he recorded it. So that one, I had a half a check on that one because I still wasn't into it, but I liked it better than what I had been hearing.
Yeah.
And then we get the Pursuit of Happiness, which is, you know, just name a city or a state, and it's in the song, right? She just kind of ran down a bunch of stuff there. And then Carousel. This one I liked because it was not only the last song, but she was both mainly it was just acoustic here, her singing and just acoustic, which I liked it because I liked hearing her with just the acoustic. And she had a growl on this song, which I wish she would use more often because she has that really good voice. But most of this record, it was kind of like just horseplay around, man. I mean, it wasn't,
Well, it was
I
doing
don't know.
research. It was a some of these songs were in a prior album that she had done, which were pretty much they weren't demos. I mean, it was put out. It was like an unplugged
Yeah,
type situation, and
right.
then they brought these some of those songs onto this album. That's why it's 15 songs
Yeah.
instead of like a 10 or a 12 song CD. Uh, so I think a lot of it was reworking some of that stuff. Um, like I say, I mean, I didn't do a lot of research as far as who the musicians were.
Mm-hmm.
I know the name Jack Ingram. Uh,
Well, most of the musicians are
he's
the
been around.
producers.
He's been around a long
Most of the
time.
people playing on these are the people that produced and wrote it with her. Like the
Right,
guy, you know, Luke
right,
Dick played like every instrument on
right,
his songs, bass
right.
and everything.
Mhm.
So, um, again, to me, this is the epitome of why I hate country music is this album. And I hate to say it. I know you liked it, and I ain't trying to dog it or nothing, but it just to me it was horrible. It was a horrible listening experience. Um, she has a good voice. I wish the songs were better. I wish the words weren't as cheesy. It was really stupid words to me. Um, I mean, some of the bass was decent in it. It's got a good sound. I mean, sound wise, other than the fact that her vocals clipped quite a bit on their high end, where they whatever they were doing on half of them. I really like the pedal steel work on it. Guy named Al Perkins. He's played with everybody. I know
Oh
you've
yeah,
heard of him. You know, you probably
yep.
met him, I'm sure. But overall, the album was very sterile sounding to me. It was almost like if you go into my keyboard and hit the demo and the rhythm plays and then you play on top of it, that's what it reminds me of. It's like, okay, let's just hit the button. I mean, all these songs I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 15 songs was verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out.
Mhm.
Every
Well,
11 out of 15. And then
that's
every now
been
and then they'd switch a solo in there instead of the bridge. So she didn't sing over it. They played the guitar part over it or something. So it was
well
the exact same formula.
that's been a standard in country music ever since even way back with Hank Williams. You know, I mean that's been the standard, and that's why they get away with being able to go out with a fresh band every time, and and just pick somebody up, and that's pretty much the way it goes. I
Yeah.
mean, even the real early Beatles stuff, that's the way it was: verse, chorus, instrumental,
Mm-hmm.
chorus, and out. Or a verse and a chorus out, and
Well,
it just that's been the formula that's been nailed home in the country music side of things. Then that's why you wind up with a lot of stuff sounding alike and the same. And what I liked about this album here, there was a different approach. There wasn't a lot to me. I didn't hear a lot of samples or anything like that, like you
Yeah.
hear on a lot of these male country artists that are coming out of there.
Yeah. There wasn't
I
any
mean,
finger pops.
there's no finger pops. There's no nothing like anybody sitting back there on a damn synthesizer holding down a triad giving you backup vocals, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I mean,
Right.
it's it was all approached in the sense that you could walk straight up on stage and do this stuff, and there's a lot to say about that. And the thing is too, I thought a lot of the lyrics and stuff were smartly put together. I mean, she's noted for being sassy and stuff and being, you know, I mean, that's just Miranda Lambert, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, and in the beginning, that's why I really didn't like her to start with. But compared to what I'm hearing now coming out of Nashville, this to me was fresh. This to me, I know that I could walk into a club and see a band perform this stuff and not really have to work hard to do it. You don't have to you don't have to have you don't have to have a click track going. You don't have to have a keyboard player over there loading samples.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you just walk up and start playing it, and there you go. You know,
Yeah.
and to me, that speaks volumes above what's coming out of
I
Nashville. And
get it.
there's no auto tune on her vocals, so
That's why I'm leaving this up to you, because I can't give it a good assessment because I hate this kind of music so much. This is the stuff I hate. You know.
I hate the new country. I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
I hear you.
But
I was going into this album really expecting better because I really like Miranda Lambert and I think she's got a tremendous voice. I do love her voice. I just thought the songs were bad and it was a very sterile. There was no energy on this record for me. I don't know.
well,
It's
I
just
think it's
me.
a little bit more of a grown up Miranda. And I thought that too when I was listening to it, but then I went back and I listened to her first album with Kerosene on it.
Mhm.
And if you listen to that album, now Kerosene's pretty high energy, but you get into the rest of the album, it's pretty much mid tempo and
Yeah.
you know, kind of like what you were hearing here.
And another thing I complain about all the time is it's 15 songs, man.
Yeah.
It's just too many. They start to sound the same, you know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I gotta agree with you on that. I thought it was too many songs. I mean, it it takes it takes a special band or I don't know. You know, there are only a few double albums that are out that really are worth listening back to back. It's like, okay, Allman Brothers live at Fillmore East. You
right.
know, I mean, there you
Exactly.
go. Uh, uh, it's
But even still, it probably wasn't even 15 songs, and that's a double album.
well, then you got the Beatles, the White Album. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
of course, all the controversy around the Beatles,
Right, right.
and you
But
know,
like this one,
Abbey. You know,
if you'd have took off like scenes, strange, what the jukebox, I mean not that one, if I was a cowboy, if you'd have took those 3 songs off, made it 12 songs, it'd have been a better record, you know,
yeah, yeah.
in my opinion. I don't know. It was just way too much similar sounding stuff to me. The drums hardly varied much. There's only a couple times you had a little different beat,
Well,
you know.
yeah, but that goes back to what I was saying about the outlaw beat. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, the Willie and Waylon stuff. It was
All
there
right, y'all
wasn't a
can
lot
yell
of
at him for putting this on the Willie and Waylon stuff. If you're
there wasn't a lot
gonna.
there wasn't a lot of variance on that stuff. I mean, pretty much it was all four on the floor. I mean, about the only thing. I mean, there were a few things that were different. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
Good Hearted Woman, a little bit different beat. You know, and
yeah.
stuff like that. But you know, I mean, it all pretty much centered around that four on the floor. And
Well, I know that we're definitely gonna have different ones on this. For me, I'm not scoring this one very high because I just did not like it. I gave the album cover a little bit because I think she's cute, and she's cute. So I gave that one, right? So a total for me, I'm giving this a 3-3, man. I couldn't. I hated this record, dude.
don't know. I'm gonna give it about a 7. You know,
7.
I'm gonna go that far with it.
And I may be a little biased because I'm not really into this, like you're more into this country stuff. So you've been playing this stuff for your whole life,
Yeah, I
man.
know, and well, that's what I'm saying. I hear the different things and the approaches and everything, and I don't know. I could probably give it a higher score, but I'm gonna stick with a 7 right now.
Yeah.
I might can change this later, but
But you could take it up a notch if you want to say that she's cute on the cover's cute.
well, I mean, I don't,
Just kidding.
I don't know. It's just I think it's worth I think it's worth the money. I think if you want to go out and have something that honestly, I don't think they're actually going to call this country. They're going to call it adult alternative.
I I call it. I'm not even gonna say what I call it because it's not. It's people are gonna hate me anyway for trashing it because they probably love Miranda Lambert, right? And I think she's cool and she's awesome and all that, but just this record, man, I just really hated it so much. It was just bad for me. But
Well,
anyway,
I
y'all
mean,
listen to Mike on this one because I put him on that side, let him take it because I knew I was gonna not like this record, but I was
well,
hoping I would. So, anyways,
it's
Mike
probably
gives it us, huh?
it's probably a lot like I'm not into punk rock. You know, I ain't going there. I can't go there. I
Yep.
mean,
I mean, we may get to one or two of those eventually, and we'll probably both hate that too, because I was never much into that style either. Uh, but anyway, well, Mike gave it a 7. I gave it a 3-3. Randall Lambert, Palomino. So you let us know who you agree with. You think Mike is right, or wherever he is, or do you think I'm right? Which I'm never right, so it's all good because they trash me anyway. Remember, I get annoyed by puppies, right? So
and the guy on the right seems to understand.
exactly, yeah. The other guy gets annoyed by puppies. So anyway, well, real quick, I'd like to give a shout out to Alan White. Not really a shout out, but we lost a great drummer.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Alan White. So,
Yep.
and with that, you guys stay safe out there.
That's right. Peace out. Listen to the music.